So Nintendo isn't the only name in the gaming world that is bringing back older technology and older systems to the market. The Sega Genesis Classic is now available for sale. It includes 80 built-in games. It's plug and play compatible with your TV. Has 40 16-bit Sega games including Sonic, Echo, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe, and also 40 bonus games. And it's compatible with Sega Genesis cartridges. And I think this is a really great thing because I like retro gaming devices and peripherals because not only are they a piece of history, but they kind of bring the past to the present. Because we have emulation today, like we were talking about with the NES Classic, and we have a lot of these games available even on the Wii's Virtual Console.
Right.
But this really gives people a look into what Sega once was. The fact that when Nintendo came along, saved the console market with the NES, that Sega was right there. And
Right.
back then, like today you have Microsoft and Sony. Back then it was Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a great way for them to bring back their name and remind people that Sega now is kind of just thought of as, oh, they're the company that does the Sonic games that come out on the Wii and everything. But it's like, it's kind of beyond that. At one point, they were a juggernaut in the gaming industry.
Absolutely. I mean, I can remember as a kid, you had your choice. Either you wanted the Super Nintendo or you wanted the Sega
Yeah,
Genesis, and it was a battle, man. And they were a juggernaut in their time, and they made some fantastic games.
yeah,
They really did. And the fact that they're bringing this back for us to kind of relive our childhood, I know I'm stoked.
yeah,
Just along with the NES,
yeah,
I can't wait, man. Can't
yeah,
wait to try 'em.
absolutely. And will this be, a product that kind of revitalizes Sega? I don't think it's going to make them a big player in the console market again,
No,
because there were rumors about the Dreamcast too, but that has kind of been squashed.
right.
But I do think it shows that Sega has a lot more to offer, or did, at one time, than people give them credit for. And, maybe it'll generate awareness again. So, you have game developers now that have a higher reputation than others. Maybe this will kind of get more attention towards Sega,
Right.
get more people, talking to Sega on social media or whatever, saying, we'd like more games, you guys should do this. Basically, just build awareness for them again.
And also probably gain enough attention for somebody to actually throw them a bone and give them a chance.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely. Because another thing a lot of people don't know is that the Dreamcast is widely considered to be one of the most underrated consoles of all time.
and it is.
And it was the first console, I believe, with online connectivity. Of course,
Yes.
you had the Sega channel, but that just shows how innovative they were. They were even thinking
Right.
ahead at that time. And if things had gone a little bit differently, the Dreamcast could have been, a huge console. And in its
Absolutely.
own right, it was. But at the time, the internet wasn't really what it is now. It was in its infancy. Online connectivity was kind of shaky. The servers weren't really there yet in the way they needed to be for reliable multiplayer and online gameplay. But it just goes to show that Sega as a company had a big, profound impact on gaming, and they did a lot more than they get credit for.
Absolutely. And just like we were talking about, like with the Dreamcast, if they would have waited at least a year or two,
Yeah,
like when the PS2 and the original Xbox came out,
yeah,
they'd be right up there today.
absolutely.
Absolutely, because like we were talking about, the online connectivity being one of the first consoles to do it. I mean, let's just be honest. The PS2 and the Xbox, they didn't have, online connectivity. I know the PlayStation didn't until maybe about like a year or two after it released.
Right.
So it's just like to have that at that period, they would still be in the market today.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I was walking by in just a small store the other day, like a small little grocery store, and like you'll see the basic little electronic toys. I saw the Genesis Classic sitting there, and I couldn't help but think, man, that is so cool because somebody's going to walk past that, some kid who never really understood, Sega as being anything other than, oh, they're the company that makes Sonic and everything. They're
Right.
gonna maybe Google what the Genesis was and then say, wow, this company had a huge impact on gaming.
Absolutely. And kiddos to their, much respect for, their error when they were in their prime. I mean, they pretty much helped make gaming what it is today.
Yep, absolutely.